Trae Young leading a balanced attack, 27 points, 9 assists. Hawks blowing the Knicks out with a commanding third quarter and now a commanding 3-1 series lead. Julius Randle had 23 for the Knicks, but just 7 of 19 shooting. Game 5 back at the Garden Wednesday night. Knicks playing for their season. Boston last night. The Nets, big three, combining for 104 points as Brooklyn blew out the Celtics 141-126. Nets now lead that series 3-1. Terrible moment here. Kyrie Irving leaving the floor. A fan, and I use that term loosely, threw a bottle in his direction. He was subsequently arrested. The Clippers have fought back from being down 2-0 to the Mavericks to even that series. A big win last night on the road. That series now tied 2 games apiece. Kawhi Leonard leading the way with 29. Home team has yet to win a game in the 4 games of that series. And then in Los Angeles yesterday, the Lakers lose to Phoenix, and more importantly, perhaps, they lose Anthony Davis, who strained his left groin late in the second quarter, did not return. Woj was with us earlier, said he is day-to-day. That series is tied at 2 games apiece. Game 5, the quick turnaround is tomorrow night. No rest for the weary, and that brings us the one, the only, Stephen A. Smith, who was here for First Take in exactly a half hour. And Steve, I want to start there. This is now a best of 3. The Suns have home court advantage and a quick turnaround. If Anthony Davis isn't going to play, what's going to happen?
LeBron's going home for the first time in the first round in his career, period. They're not beating this Suns team without Anthony Davis, especially with CP3 now looking healthier than he looked in games 2 and 3. When you consider the young lines that they've got, those thoroughbreds, the way they go at you, they quicken the pace. You got a star in Devin Booker. You're exceptionally well coached by Monty Williams and his staff. And DeAndre Ayton is playing highly efficient basketball. You're talking about a dude that's putting in 20 and 10 a night in this series consistently. It's not 30 and 10, 30 one night, 10 another. It's consistently 20, 21, 22. Yesterday, he was balling, had about 17 rebounds. I just can't say enough about what I'm seeing from these guys. It's going to take the greatness of LeBron James along with Anthony Davis to pull out this series like they basically did in games 2 and 3. Without Anthony Davis, LeBron James at this stage and point in his career will not be enough, regardless of how broad those shoulders are. They will go down. It might be in 7 games because Phoenix might need both home playoff wins in order to pull it off. But I believe Phoenix is going to the second round and the Lakers are going home and LeBron is going home in the first round for the first time in his illustrious career if he doesn't get Anthony Davis.
And what will that mean? Just quickly, because I want to get to the Knicks here. But some will look at it and say, LeBron James, he's the greatest of all time. He needs to find a way to win this series, even if he doesn't have his running mate.
No, when you're in your 18th year, you're 36 years of age, you've accomplished the things that he's accomplished. There is such a thing as attrition and father time. And it's not to say that that should be held against him in any way, because I don't think it should. You're going up against young dudes that they can ignore you and beat everybody else. They could let you get yours and still contain everybody else. They can't do that with Anthony Davis on the floor, but without Anthony Davis on the floor, they can do that. I would not hold that against LeBron James at all, but they will not win this series, in my opinion, without Anthony Davis.
All right, fair enough. Now, let's get to the one that is nearest and dearest to your heart. Through 4 games in this series between the Knicks and the Hawks that coming in we thought might be as evenly matched as any series that we had. What have we seen?
Well, what we've seen is a young kid by the name of Trae Young who's emerged as a star in this league, and he's validated his greatness to be miniature, to average better than 25 and 10 in his first 4 playoff games in his career. You just don't see that too often. I think there's only like 3 other players that have done that, and their names include guys like Steph Curry and Oscar Robertson. But the other thing is it was supposed to be 2 All-Stars in this series, and only 1 has shown up. We appreciate Julius Randle. I'm a born in the Bronx, raised in Queens, New York, lifelong Knick fan. I have a vote. Obviously, I voted for Julius Randle to be the league's most improved player. And he deserves it, and we're thankful for what he's done, but he's been awful this series. It's just no other way to slice it. When your opponents are screaming, he's going left, and everybody knows it, and you still try to do that, and you're so limited with what you can do. You can't get your shot off. You shoot like 20 for 73 this series. You're not going to the basket. You're not making plays for other people. It's either your shot is falling or it's not. You're turning the ball over as well. He has shown He cannot be a number one offensive option. He's definitely a strong number two and elite number three, but he's not the number one option for the New York Knicks. And that's the only thing that you can take out of what he has done thus far. You know not to move forward with him as your number one option unless you want to go home in the first round of the playoffs. I'm still not giving up because I'm a Knicks fan, and that's just the way it is. I'm holding out hope. But Julius Randle has been an incredible disappointment on the offensive side of the ball. And I'll throw R.J. Barrett into that as well, because last time I checked, we all have two hands. We all have two arms. Most of us anyway, we have two hands. We have two arms. I mean, these dudes, can I see a right hand? Can I just see it? Just show me that you actually know that you have two hands instead of just one, because every single thing is the left hand. Everything. They can go around the block, up the hill, around the corner. They still coming back to their left. They can't help it. And I'm like, damn. That's how I feel right now.
I think I'm like, damn, is pretty much the way Knicks fans everywhere feel.
Yes.
Borky, I'm staying on this for 1 second because I want to throw this thought at you as I watch this series. To me, it feels like a testament to how well coached the Knicks are, and how in the regular season, if you just play hard every night, you're going to win a bunch of games. Because when it actually matters, as you watch this the Hawks are just markedly better than the Knicks are. It's not just Trae Young and Julius Randle. They have a lot more places to go for offense.
Herder, Collins, all of these guys. They got guys that can shoot, and they deserve a lot of credit for it. I get all of that, but I'm also going to look at Tom Thibodeau, who was second on my list for Coach of the Year. I gave my vote to Monty Williams first, and then him. When I look at Tom Thibodeau, why do you have Julius Randle posting with his backside on somebody 20 and 22 feet away from the basket? Why are you doing that? That man is 6'8", 6'9". He's very, very powerful. Put that boy in the low post and try to be a man amongst boys. At least you'll get somebody in foul trouble. Try something new. Something.
Maybe we will see that in Game 5. Very quickly, one more thing for you. I know I need to let you go here, but we saw another incident last night involving a fan with Kyrie Irving. Again, I use the term fan loosely in this. They throw a water bottle in his direction. We ran through earlier on the program today some of the things we've seen in these playoffs. The popcorn with Russell Westbrook, someone spitting in the direction of Trae Young, Ja Morant's family being subject to all sorts of horrible behavior. I would love to get a thought from you if I could. I know you'll talk about it at length on First Take, just on what we've seen so far in the first week of these playoffs.
Well, it's a damn shame. Kevin Durant was right on the money with what he had to say. I encourage everybody to go listen to him. And I brought this up last week on First Take. You got two elements going on here. One is the fact that because of the aftermath of George Floyd's killing, you had a whole lot of social justice initiatives taking place, and you have a lot of fans in this nation, if that's what you want to call them, that are adamantly against them and against the players for their role in all of that stuff. But because of COVID-19, they weren't able to get to the stadium. So people think they're coming to the stadium reacting to what they see on the court. No, they come to these arenas with an agenda against the players, number one, and number two, gambling in-state. Go to a Sixers game. In order to download a Wi-Fi, to get Wi-Fi, you actually have to download the Bally Sports app inside the arena. So you got people gambling on the games, and you got people that have some animosity because of these social justice initiatives, and they've targeted the players. And the NBA needs to pay rapt attention to that, and the NFL needs to pay attention to that too.
Yeah, very disturbing with the proximity of the fans to the players in the NBA. Again, First Take is coming up 22 minutes. I kept you a ton of extra time, but I love it. Thank you, as always. It is great to have you. And those guys are on 22 minutes from now. Meanwhile, quickly, let me run the bases